Flosstube. Oh, it's been a little while. I am so sorry it took me so long to get back on here again to talk to all of you guys. For anybody that is coming to for the first time, that has just happened across my channel, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. This channel is primarily about cross stitch and showing whips, like our works in progress and plans and haul, the things that we've purchased, and there might be a little bit of sewing thrown in here and there. Not a lot these days, but I do love to sew as well. So welcome, and for anybody that's returning, thank you guys for sticking with me. I know that I've been a little sporadic lately with getting on here, but just life you know, gets in the way so many times. And I also just got so involved in stitching. I'm doing some bigger projects and it was really hard to want to stop and gather all of my, I just wanted to stitch. I just wanted to spend my time stitching. So anyway, I apologize for not getting back a little bit sooner. But I don't really even have a ton to show you because I've been stitching on some bigger items, but I have some new starts and I do have one FFO and a couple of others that are close that I should just finish, but I haven't. They're Christmas, and so kind of hard to jump back in and do Christmas right now. I'm not in the mood to do Christmas, but maybe by next time. They're smalls, and I need to sprinkle a few more smalls in so that I can have some things done once in a while, because right now I just have a ton of bigger things going, which I love to, which is okay, right? We stitch what we want and we stitch when we want, and it's the joy of stitching, right? It's what gives us our therapy. It gives us our joy, our peace, our comfort. For me, oftentimes it's comfort. So anyway, let's jump in, guys. I'm going to try not to keep this one so long. Life update, not a whole lot going on. My arm continues to do really, really good. I do have kind of a hard date coming up. February 24 is the anniversary of my husband's death, and that's always a little bit of a harder day, but I think I'm going to go out and about with my sister for the day. In the past, I've always kind of locked myself away and just plan to be sad, and I don't want to do that this year. And I may still break down and cry that day, I don't know, but I'm in a safe place with my sister, so she knows that it could be a hard day and she'll cry with me. So anyway, that's the only really thing I've got coming up. So I did decide recently to do a retreat. It's my first one. It's gonna be the Crazy Woman Retreat in Wyoming. I'm going to be going with a couple of friends and the loose thread stitchers, Leanne and Jeannie. So I'm kind of excited to do that one. And then I'm going to do a couple of open stitches, I think. I have one for sure that I'm signed up for. It's in Osage, and it's just an open stitch for about 4 days. And I'm going to go with a friend to that one. And that one's sort of close to me. It's like 3.5 hours away, something like that. So it's doable. And then I also am thinking I might do another one that my LNS puts out, and that one's even closer. It's maybe an hour away, so I might do that one as well. I haven't signed up for that one yet. The Crazy Woman Retreat is in September. The Open Stitch is in April. So that one is in Osage, and it's done by, you know what, I wrote it down. Where did I write it down? I wrote it down on my phone, which I'm taping on. So, Stitchery Nook, I think it's called, is the one that puts it on. So I'm sure there'll be a little bit of shopping and stuff along the way there too. So pretty excited to go to those. So let's jump into my first FFO. I think you saw my finish, but I actually put it into this cute little pedestal frame that my daughter had. She was going to actually get rid of it, and we were shopping together one day, and I was looking for something sort of like this, and she goes, "Mom, that sounds exactly like something I have." So I did the Be Mine. I don't know if you can see that very clearly because it does have glass. It's Be Mine by Primrose Cottages, and it's a super, super cute stitch, and it fit just really, really well in there. So I'm happy to be able to add that one to my decor. And that's the only thing I've gotten done, you guys. But I've had some new starts since we talked last. I think I'll first go through The one thing that I did work on a little bit after we talked, and that was Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I've gotten a little bit more done on that one. It has a lot of little single stitches left yet. They're sprinkled kind of throughout everywhere. I did finally get my button pack. A wonderful viewer sent me an email and said those button packs are available again on Kitten Stitcher. And so I was able to get hold of those, and I don't know what I did with them. I wonder if they're in my haul. I could have those in my haul. But then there are a couple of little stockings that go up here along the top, and a couple of stars buttons that go on the top there. This one is so close to being finished. Like I said, I just have those snowflakes to do, I think, and then put the buttons on, and then I really think this one is finished. So I should really buckle down and do it, but like I said, it's Christmas, and so it's a little hard to get excited about that one right now. Maybe Jolly July, I could pull it back out and maybe work on it and finish it up then. Then I made a new plan. I decided on the 4th, I was going to try to stitch on my Lady of the Flag. And then I promptly forgot on February 4th. I made the decision like on the 3rd, didn't even occur to me that the next day was gonna be the 4th. So I was stitching on all my other samplers. But that is kind of my plan going forward this year, that on the 4th of every month, I wanna try to stitch on my Lady of the Flag. And on the 25th, I want to work on a Christmas project. And I did do that for the month of January. I worked on Dasher and Dancer. And there is a SAL going on right now on that one. That is handmade by Sarah W. She created a SAL for some of us that were stitching it, and it's called Dash and Dance SAL. If you guys are stitching it too and you want to share, or you want to see what other people are also doing with it, you could hop on there and do that. But this is what it will look like finished. Just really a beautiful sampler. I just fell in love with it. This is my first monochromatic one that I've ever done, and I really, really love it. You know, it's just an easy thing to pick up because you're not constantly changing colors. It's only ever one floss. Doesn't really take a whole lot of thought that way. You do have to count, of course, but I'm finding it to be a pretty easy, an easy stitch and a very enjoyable stitch. So this is my progress so far. I managed to get the tree done this last time. So you can tell I still have a long, long way to go. But if I work on it on the 25th of every month, I'm kind of hoping that maybe I could have it finished by Christmas this year. But there's no rules for me. If I don't, I don't. And sometimes I really get going on it. I don't want to put it down again for a little bit. So I may work on it more than just one day every month. It just kind of depends on my frame of mind. So that's my Dasher and Dancer. And then I am also working on a new one it's a SAL for Tiger Lily. Kari from Tiger Lily is doing a birthday SAL, and I believe it's called Tiger Lily B-Day SAL, I think is the hashtag that goes with it. This one is called Ann Richardson sampler. It's got lots and lots of bright pinks, as you would expect for Kari. That's kind of her signature and her favorite color, and pink is actually one of my favorites too. But this is the pattern. It's not a very big pattern. As a matter of fact, it is, let me give you the stitch count, 138 by 147. So it's not huge. And it's fun just because the colors are so bright. And a lot of everything else that I'm stitching right now is a little bit more prim colors, a little bit more neutral. This one, I'm forgetting to tell you what I'm stitching things on. So this one is done with Vicki Clayton Silks. She actually put together a thread pack, and she even discounted it a little bit for Kari. So I'm stitching it with her silks. It's the first time I've stitched with her silks, and they're wonderful. And they're really affordable, really affordable. So I highly recommend those. And I think this one I'm stitching on a mystery fabric. It was one that I got off of one of the stash sites. Oh, I take that back. I just didn't write it down. It's Prairie Grass by Seraphim, and this is on 40 count. And this is my progress so far. You can see all those really fun colors. The only thing that's really a little tricky about this one is there are two greens and they both have a very similar name. And so you have to pay attention. I gotta look at them a minute. I have these beautiful floss drops that I got from my Keeper Club from Kari. They're so, so pretty. But the two greens, one of them is called C-Rack 3437, and the other one is called C-Rack 3433. So you got to pay attention with that one. But these are the silks that came, and I just took, they come in a bobbin, and I took mine off of the bobbin because I like to use floss drops, and I got a tangled mess. See if I can get them into a decent semblance of order for you guys, but they're so pretty. Give you a little bit of a color. I have a black on. That kind of is a good way to pop the color. They're so pretty. Okay, so there's that one. So I'm making kind of slow progress on that one. That one hasn't been my go-to. I have a couple of others that have been my go-to, and I will show those to you as well. Of course I will. One of them was a start that I'm doing with my friend Beth from the Red Cross Stitcher. We had both talked about this one, and we seem to like a lot of the same things, and so we kind of chit-chat and ask what you've got going, and we start things together quite often just because we do have a lot of the same patterns and we do enjoy them. This is one you guys have seen done so many times, Winter Rose Manor. I think it's just beautiful. I have wanted this one for such a long, long time. And so now I'm finally doing it, and I'm so excited to be doing it. This one is on, I don't have the name of this one either. I did poorly. I did very poorly. I wonder if this was my mystery fabric. I don't. No, it doesn't really look like it. Anyway, here's my progress on it so far. Such a fun stitch. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. I love the little flowers in the border and the little vase with the flowers in the middle, and I'm doing the little trees down the side. I love it, I love it. So, so fun. And this one's gonna get some attention pretty soon. I picked up something else today that I'm working on, but I'm thinking I'm going to be getting back to this one probably next week. And I do need to figure out if I can what fabric I'm stitching that one on. I'm not sure if I can. On that one, I am using all the called for colors except, so here's the called for colors. They are, I have a loose thread. They are a combination of Weeks and Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks. These are my colors. Really pretty. The only thing that I'm changing is possibly the house color. The house color called for is called Weeks Conch, C-O-N-C-H, and it's kind of this really light salmon-y color. Put it against my hair. It's kind of a light salmon color, and I think it will show up fine on my fabric. My fabric has got a little bit of a gray-brown tint to it. But somebody had suggested that you try Weeks Meredith's Pink. So I ordered a couple of those also, and there's quite a bit of variegation in that one. And here's the conch. You can see them together. One is very salmon colored, and the other is very pink. And I like my pinks. I'm kind of a pink girl, so haven't decided yet which one I'm gonna do. I have to see it, which means there's always a little frogging, but I usually have to put some of it in and then kind of look at it for maybe a day and go, do I like that? Do I not like that? And if I don't love it, I'll sometimes pull it out and put the other color in, and then I'll look at that for a day. So it slows me down when I do decide to change colors. And that's kind of what I've run into with some of my other projects that I have going on. So those are two of my big ones. And then I've got two more big ones that I've been working on. One of them is Teresa Kogut's Hometown SAL. And I just recently put that one in timeout. I'll explain. Now, I don't have a picture of this one. All she really has is like a mock-up, and I don't like to post those because I feel like if you zoom in too much, you could probably figure it out. So I don't like to post those. Sorry for my loose threads hanging on this one, but it's my dilemma. But this is where I'm at so far with this one. And I've gotten the first, just about the first month's done. She just released the second month. And I'm doing it on 36 count up in the attic. And I initially started stitching this one the wrong way. I started stitching it in a horizontal pattern, and it needs to go vertical. So I had almost this much done, and then I had to rip it all out and turn it on my fabric. And then I also was really struggling with how much I could see through, because I stitch 1/1, or 1/2, I'm sorry, 1/2. On the brown and on the black, I could really see through my stitches, and I didn't love that. You can see it on the windows maybe a little bit. They're 1/1, but on the rooftop, the brown one and the black one, what I did was I stitched 2 strands over 1/2, 2/2 on the first leg, and the next leg, and this is all done in DMC, so there's no variegation that you have to worry about. Then the second strand, the second leg, I did 1/2, so that I have like, it just gives it a little bit more fullness, a little bit less to see through. So I think I plan to do that on most of the really dark colors. You can see too, the gray of the fence is done 1/2. And I may change that as well. I'm not sure. So this guy has seen a lot of frogging, a lot of frogging. And what I'm finding is the way that she releases them cuts things right off in the middle of a house, in the middle of, and so I'm not gonna stitch any house that has a partial, like where I can tell that there's gonna be more to it. I've decided only to stitch what's complete as we go along on this SAL, because I got super frustrated. Like I can even tell that there's going to be more to this roof, but you can't see anymore. And that's why I have a thread hanging here, because I know the next release, or down the road, the next release is going to have the rest of this house and roof on there. So I'm just going to start stitching the complete sections of it as we go along instead of stitching partials, because I found that to be rather frustrating. And I don't want to be able to see a seam or a line where my stitches stop and start. So I would rather have it be a little bit more fluid. So just going to do the sections that I can see that are complete on that one. So, and it is really going to be a pretty stitch. I am stitching this one on sorry. You think that you're organized and you have all the stuff, and then you're not. This one is on 36 count up in the attic, which is the called for. And I'm stitching 1/2, and I'm using all the called for DMC colors. I'm not switching any colors out on this one. And because I'm doing the called for and in the fabric and in the floss, I don't feel like there should be any issues with my floss not kind of showing up. So that's the only other reason that I would possibly change something, is if I didn't feel like it was showing up very well. So that one is Hometown, and he's just in a little timeout because I'm so frustrated with it. So I did work on him quite a bit last week, just to get him back to this point. And I put that roof in 2 or 3 times because like I stitched it 1/2, didn't like it, pulled it back out, stitched it 2/2 on the first leg, 1/2 on the second leg, and then I found out it was the wrong way and pulled that back out. And so that one's been just a slight frustration for me, but that's part of it, right? That's part of it. So he's going in a little timeout. Then I think the only other thing that I'm working on is the Smith sampler, and this is also a SAL for Diane Sutton's birthday. Again, handmade by Sarah. She's so dangerous. Love her. She started her and Diane, I think, started it together, and I think it's called the Smith Sampler SAL. Nope, the Smith Sampler B.a.blessingstitcher SAL, or just Smith Sampler B.a.blessingstitcher SAL. I'm not sure which one of those two. I was very drawn to this one, so when she mentioned that she was going to be stitching this with Diane, I said, oh, I need to do that one. And I'm very drawn to it because of the swan in the middle. My grandmother's maiden name was Swan, and so I love all things swans. So instead of putting Smith in here in the middle where the name is, I think I might put Swan. I think that would be kind of fun, and I'm going to stitch it in memory of her. So I have lost all of my grandparents at this point in my life, so definitely will be a wonderful memory and a wonderful keepsake for her. And I am stitching this one on flax 40 count. I'm stitching it 1/2, and I'm finding I like 40 count better than I like 36. Kind of have evolved into that just because of the coverage. Sometimes I don't mind it. If it's a small stitch, I don't mind it if it looks a little bit open and a little bit like loosey-goosey. But for the bigger samplers, I really think I like the 40 count probably a little bit better. I haven't tried 46 yet, have I? I might have. But that'll probably be my next step, is to try 46. And here is my progress. And I actually have been working on this one today. It's actually a pretty heavy stitch. A lot of full coverage pieces, like the swan in the center, that's all full coverage. These little squares up here are all filled in. And so these little triangles are all full coverage, and they're all done in multiple colors. If you get close, you can see that each one has like 3 or 4 colors in it. So, and I'm changing the colors on this one. I decided to try Roxy Floss Co., and that was mostly from Katie from So Tattered. She had mentioned that she had done a Roxy Floss Co. conversion. And so I ordered hers, and then I realized it was a little bit too brown. I really loved the grayish colors that were in it, and I wanted it to look a lot like that. And so I kind of had to pick and choose after I had ordered them. And now I've got some color and cotton threads that I'm using. That's the darker, I think it's called Rosewood or something by Color and Cotton. And I've used just a couple others here and there that I just didn't like the shading of what I had available with what I had ordered from the Roxy Floss Co., which is by Evertotes, by the way. If you're looking for hers, go to evertotes.com and you'll find them. So yeah, love this one so much. It's been really, really hard to put down. And so this one's gonna get some love, and then I think I'm gonna jump onto Rosewood Manor and do some more on that one. So that's about it for what I've been stitching, guys. I've actually been trying to keep up with my book of days. The Smith House and the Ann Richardson I started on the birthdays of Kari and Diane Sutton, and that was both on the 31st of January. And then Beth, the Red Cross Stitcher, and I just had decided previously to start Winter Rose Manor on February 1. So I had 3 starts kind of all right in a row there. So I hate to just put one thread in. I hate it. I want to see progress. Because I think I don't enjoy going back to it unless I can see some of the picture. So I wanted to make sure I got a little bit of progress done on all 3 of those. So that makes them more fun for me to go back to later. I've been keeping up, as I said, with my book of days and trying to write all the things down. And it's not pretty. I don't have stickers, but it has proven kind of invaluable to me to be able to look back and say, this is what I did, this is what I started. And on the days, I put like little asterisks next to the day that I start something. So I actually have 1, 2, 3, 1. In January, I started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I finished my Flossie sampler, and I finished the Be Mine House and the Valentine Bird. And so far I have no other finishes for February. And unless I pick up something small, I probably won't. So I might be a little boring for a while. That was partially why I didn't come back right away, because I just didn't know if I had enough to really show you guys and if you'd be interested in it or not. But because I waited so long, of course there's haul. Always have haul. So I'll show you some of that. And if you guys don't want to see haul, just go ahead and turn it off right now. I don't have any rhyme or reason to any of this yet. And so I do get Fanciful Flamingo Alicia's monthly box. Is it a monthly box? I think it's a monthly box. And it comes with a exclusive pattern. This one was Emily Call, and so this was the pattern that we got. Made just for that box. And then it comes with a host of other fun little things. Comes with fabric for finishing, stickers, it comes with the floss, comes with a project bag tag, and even this fun little floss keeper. It's kind of hard to see, but it's acrylic, but even that is so fun. And I haven't started it yet. It's just in my pile of stuff, and that's okay. So that has been fun. I have really enjoyed getting those. So if you want to check them out, she does a monthly box and provides so many. She usually also puts a few beautiful charms or stick pins or something in there. I don't remember anymore what came with this one. I didn't keep it all together. But anyway, then I made a couple of other purchases. I got my next Country Cottage Needleworks Beach Boardwalk pattern. And this one is just a really cute little snacks cart. Very cute. I haven't started any of these either, partially because I don't know for sure if I want to do them individual or if I want to stitch them all together. And then if I do them together, if I want to do them in a grouping or all straight across. So that one's on hold. And then I found this one, which I thought could be something I put up all year round. That I just really liked. Bless This Home. And the only thing I really don't care for on this is the colors in this little guy. Is it a pineapple? I think it's a pineapple. I will change the color on that, probably to something a little bit more in a pink range, salmon colored range, something like that. I'm not a huge fan of the real bright orange. So that's in my pile. And then I went on the stash site. I should stay off there. But they had a couple of the Hawk Run Hollow patterns on there. And so I picked up the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow because I live in farm country. And I really thought this was cool. And I also picked up a year at Hawk Run Hollow. And I have no idea when I'm gonna start those. None, zero zip. Oh, it looks like I also got this one. It has been a while since I've talked to you guys. This is the little toy soldiers. It's another one of the Beach Cottage Boardwalk patterns. See if you can see that very well. They're adorable. I just love the pastel colors in those. I think they're so pretty. Let me try to keep those together. And then I ordered something because of Jennifer the Calculated Stitcher. I saw this a while back on her Flosstube and I loved it, but I didn't pull the trigger. And she just did another recent whip parade and I went, oh, okay, yeah, I have to get it. It's called Amazing Grace Little White Church and it's by Kanikas Prims and Whims. I think I'm gonna take this out of the packaging. I just got this. So the way they do that is you place the order and then they still have to make the fabric. So it took a little while for it to come. So in case you decide you want to try it, just make sure you know that as well. So the first picture shows it on the fabric that I ordered to go with it. And then the second one shows it without. And I chose to do it on 36 count linen with the Amazing Grace in the background. So I'm really very excited to have that one, and I want to start all the things how to start all the things. It is a problem, isn't it? Okay, that one's super excited just because I think I had to wait so long to get it. So just really excited to finally get that one. Then from Primrose Cottage, they were doing a Valentine favorite pack with color and cotton. And so I went ahead and ordered their favorites. And the colors are so fun. These were their favorites for Valentine's. See if I can get them all out there. So nice and pretty. And they curated it. You know how that's kind of something that they do and that they do so very well. They curate colors together. So they are boxwood, Clara, duck egg, paving stones, pearl white, salmon, and puddle jumping are the names of those. And I haven't used them yet. But now that I've shown them to you, I can put them into my stash. So I probably will use them soon. And then I also got my order from Color and Cotton with the new colors for this month. And they are my all colors. Oh, so pretty this time, you guys. They're pretty all the time, but this was one pack. Oh, aren't those gorgeous, you guys? Oh, I love them. They're so soft. The colors are Medallion, Begonia, Mesa, North Star, Mint Julep. I think they're so pretty. And then the other all colors are darker. They are also equally beautiful, just more vibrant. We have Green Heron, Lily Pad, Old Brick, Persimmon, and Serenade. And then the neutrals that we got, I really have found their neutrals to be invaluable when I'm trying to kit things up myself. We've got Jamestown, Harvest Wheat, Marsh, Portobello, and Almond. So really happy and excited to put those all into my stash. And I should have organized all this before, but I didn't. I just keep throwing stuff into my pile, knowing that eventually I'm going to talk with you guys about it. Okay, put that over there. Oh, here's what came with the rest of that from Alicia's Fanciful Flamingos box. It's this really adorable, oh, it's so cute, you guys. It's got like a little snowman and a Christmas tree. Oh, that's so adorable. It says 2024, it's got a snowflake. Let me get that back into focus here for you just a little bit. Maybe put him in front of my black. So cute. So cute. Sorry I missed that earlier. I knew there was one more fun special thing that came with it. Okay, then on the stash site again, I was able to pick up Waxing Moon's designs of the Valentine houses. I have several of her patterns, haven't done any of them yet, but I love this one. And I don't have a ton of Valentine stuff stitched. So I thought that would be really a good thing to tackle. And then Jennifer, the Calculated Stitcher, was doing a stash dive and she was getting rid of things. And I picked up some fabric from her. Oh, here's my buttons from Shakespeare's. I got some fabric and my buttons. I'll show that in a minute. I know I purchased Friesland from her. It's a Friesland sampler, and the reason I got that is because that's where my roots are. I came from Friesland. When I did a little bit of a study on where my family came over from Holland, they came from Friesland. So that one was super cool. And what else did I get from her? It's just been a little too long and I keep just tossing things in here, guys, so I've lost track a little bit. But I know I got 2 things of fabric from her. I know I got that Friesland sampler, and I may have gotten this one, My Home Sweet Home. Turn It This Way by Brenda Gervais. Gervais? I've wanted to do that one for a while too. I think I got those 2 from her. And then these 2 came from the stash site as well. I saw this one a while back and I just thought it was so pretty, but it does have some hardanger stitches in it, which is a little intimidating, but it's called Old Faithful. And I thought that would be really pretty on a darker fabric, like maybe a green for Christmas or even a red. Oh, how pretty on a red. So I love that one. And then I also picked up one called, that one is by Counted Illuminations, designed by Patricia Anderl. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of her before. Here's her name, Patricia Anderl. At the bottom it shows Counted Illuminations. This one was designed by Melinda Cross My Heart Inc. and it's called Country Chapel. And I thought that was so pretty too. I sure don't pick small projects, do I, guys? I pick all the big things. And then I got, I think, only two other patterns. I might have shown this one to you, Long Dog sampler called Arcade. I saw Brenda, the Handwork Maniac, doing this one, and she was doing it on a color called Conifer by Picture This Plus. I've had a hard time finding that. I thought I found it. Turned out it was Opalescence Conifer, and so it's got a lot of sparkle to it. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in there. I'm not sure I love that. So the hunt will probably continue yet for me to find the right fabric for that one. And then, Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher was stitching this one and she was almost finished. She posted a picture of it and I know I've seen it before, but her picture just kind of went, oh, I need that. It's every opening flower. I'm sure you guys have seen this one too. But the colors in it were stunning. And she told me she used the called for. So Beth the Red Cross Stitcher and I think we both bought it off of Jessica's pictures. So that I'm sure will be a stitch along with her somewhere in the future. It's just fun to stitch with people, isn't it, guys? I love it so much. And then I was showing you my Have a Merry Little Christmas, and then here are the buttons that go with that. That star is up in the top corner there, but then the little stockings that go on there. So I have the buttons that I can finally finish that, and actually I'm going to put that with it so I don't lose them. You guys don't lose anything ever, do you? I had such a frustrating day last week where I was trying to find a couple of wooden pieces for finishing and I couldn't find anything. Not anything. I looked for like an hour and a half and I'm finally like, I quit. I give up. It'll show up when it wants to show up. So, and then while I was on the Kitten Stitcher, I didn't want to just order buttons because you pay the shipping for just buttons. So then I ordered some Brenda's Brew fabric, 40 count. Such a beautiful brown. Kind of reminds me of a little of cocoa or milkshake or something like that. Such a pretty color. So I did get a little bit of fabric again because I love my fabric stash. And this one is Fox and Rabbit Winter Wren. Honestly, don't remember where I got this one from. I don't remember, but this is really dark. But it's brown again also with just a little modeling. And I don't have very many really dark browns in my stash. So I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, but I thought it was really pretty. And I got rustic driftwood. Wonder if some of these came from the stash or if these came from Jennifer. This is another beautiful brown. Let me put that tag back in here so I don't lose track. She doesn't say who it's by. Oh, and there's floss in there. Very sweet. This is by XJU Design, I think. And this is again another very pretty darker brown. It's not quite as dark as the other one, but a lovely color. Not a ton of modeling, but just a little, which is I think kind of my favorite. I feel like when they have a lot of modeling, it can sometimes detract from the stitch. So I tend to go always towards something a little bit more muted. As I'm saying that, my next one is from Stitch Me, and it has a lot of modeling, and I belong to her fabric of the month. And this is 40 count also. Like I said, I'm gravitating toward 40 counts lately. This one is called, what color? Dusty Cottage. And that one has quite a bit of modeling. And I don't have a lot of those either, so it'll be good to have it in my stash. There probably will be just the perfect project that will come up for it at some point. So I don't mind having a stash. I really like being able to go to my cupboard and pull out different choices and options and just being able to kit it right from my stash. I also belong to Atomic Ranch Fabric of the Month Club through Garan Stitchery. This one's called Vanilla Cream. Just a lovely, very basic vanilla color. Very pretty. It's just vanilla. But that one came from Garan Stitchery. I recently got into their Fox and Rabbit Club too, in 40 count. This one I think might be, this is 36. I haven't switched that one yet, and I might. And then this one came from Grace Note Fabrics. This one is called Heather on the Hill. And this has got, oh, you guys, it's a purple lilac, not lilac, what color do I want to call that? Periwinkle? It's got a real lavender. See, is it coming across? Not too bad. It's just a beautiful shade of purple with some very nice modeling in there. And this one came from the Crazy Hamster off of the swap site. She doesn't have color names, but I thought this was just a very pretty color. I kind of went crazy on the darker browns, didn't I? This one's a little darker brown again. She compares it to DMC 642 or 3025 are the colors, which I like that she does that. You get an idea then of what the color is. This one came from her too, and it's a golden color. Darker again, but very golden. And there were a couple of times when I really wanted a kind of a golden color background recently, and I didn't have anything, so I was drawn to that one. And one more, ooh, another dark one. This one is color 840 or 3860 from Crazy Hamster. Again, a darker one, almost with a plum shade. There's almost a little bit of a plum shade to the background of that one. So, so pretty. And this one, I'm pretty sure I showed you my Fox and Rabbit last time. I think I just didn't get it put away. Yep, I think both of those were from last time. Then I just got a couple more fabrics. Boy, I went crazy on fabrics. Sometimes you don't realize it until you see the pile together. This one is called Soft Porcelain, and it's by Luminous Fiber Arts. And it almost has a bit of a peach color to it. If I get close enough, can you see the peach in there? Not really. Yeah, it's kind of blowing out. Yeah, not really getting a good peach color. It's got like almost a soft peach color to it, but that's called Soft Porcelain. Then I got some Fox and Rabbit Hog Bristle. I think this all came from Hollis Hands Creates. This is 40 count Fox and Rabbit Hog Bristle. And this one again has kind of a yellowy golden color, and that kind of goes back to me wanting to have something golden a couple of times, and I didn't have anything in my stash. And this one is called Old Sheep 40 count. And this one has kind of a yellowish base as well. And this one is by, who's this one by? Doesn't say. It just says 40 count Old Sheep. I don't know who that one's by. That one's so pretty too. Can you tell that my tastes are switching over to all samplers? And then I've been curious about this color for a long time too, Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. This is 40 count, and it does have a slight green cast to it. It's kind of a grayish green and brown. But it does have a little bit of a greenish cast to it. And I think I've heard other people kind of say that as well. Okay, that is it for those. Then I picked up just a little bit of fabric. One of the sites that I've purchased fabric from, I can't remember if it was Shabby Fabrics or I Need Fabrics or Green Fairy. One of those had this some really beautiful 4th of July patriotic fabric that they had in, and I thought this one would be so pretty as accents or as project bags, or I still plan to do project bags, you guys. I have this really cool idea. I've made one for my mom and I gifted it to her where it's a vinyl front and then it has an interior pocket so you can slide your pattern behind it and still see the fabric and the floss on the front, and yet protect your pattern by putting it inside that second pocket on the inside. I'll insert a picture of the one that I made for my mom. So I just need to get busy and make some more of those. I really do like the fact that there's a separate pocket in there. I haven't perfected it yet. I feel like that pocket needs to be a little stiffer yet, so I did buy some stiffer interfacing. And so it's just in the early stages of it, so I just have to play around with it a little bit. But there's been this thing called lack of time. I just really need to have one more day every week. I would be fine. If I just had one more day, I could get a lot more done. Then I picked up, and I'm trying to think, oh yeah, So Much to Love. I was trying to think who made this one. I picked up a project bag, and I've been wanting one from her. I keep seeing Steph from Pam and Steph showing theirs, and I love her big rickrack that she puts down here. And I thought this would be good either for Valentine's or just a sampler, because it has kind of the old roses and like alphabet fabric and stuff on it. And then she's got this really pretty checkerboard on the inside, and she does an amazing job. I like to purchase other people's project bags because it gives me insights into what I can do to be better in making mine. So I do enjoy getting them. She's got this lovely top stitching. I haven't figured out yet how these guys get their zippers so close. I need to do a little bit more research on the zippers because I haven't been thrilled with how my zippers are turning out, but hers are like connected right here, and then she's got a top stitch down on the bottom. So they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then the other thing I got, which I forgot I had even ordered, was from Fat Quarter Shop, Honey Bloom. And I got a Fat Quarter bundle from them of these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And I don't really want to take them out of the plastic yet, guys. But I thought that would be a really beautiful 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 project bags too. One of these days, I always kind of think I'm going to start selling them. And then I'm afraid if I start selling project bags, I'm going to not enjoy them anymore. Because that's happened to me in different things that I've done throughout my life. I used to crochet a lot, and I got into making little tiny shoes and boots and things like that for babies. And I started selling them, and it took a lot of the joy out of it. I no longer had creative license to do what I wanted with them. And I don't think I would lose the creative license as much with doing project bags. I just don't want to not enjoy doing them. So we'll see. But I am thinking about making those with the pockets. So let me know, guys, if you think you like that idea, if you think that's a good idea. And I can perhaps, yeah, try to sew a few up before the next video. And speaking of the next video, I'm gonna have to stop this a second to go get my list. So I have my little quote for the day. I wrote that down on my iPad and it's not close to me. But speaking of the next one, I don't know if I should go a month again or if I should go 2 weeks. I feel like I have a lot more to show you if I go a month, and it gives, I feel like I don't have quite as much pressure. Otherwise, I feel like there's a little bit of pressure to stitch, stitch, stitch and have things done to show you guys. And so I just feel like there's a little less pressure on me if I have a little bit more time. So I may go to monthly, and I hope that's okay with you guys, but I would love to hear your input on that too. Let me know what you think. So I'm gonna stop this for a second while I go grab my notes, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I changed to a chair. I've always been sitting on the floor, and I stood up this time and I went, ow. Maybe I shouldn't do the floor anymore. So anyway, I moved to a chair. I just wanted to read through some of the different Flosstubers that I've been watching. You guys are probably familiar with a lot of them. The first one is Red Cross Stitcher, Beth, my friend. She has some wonderful tutorials that she's made on sewing. She's so skilled, and she's offered to kind of coach me along. And I've been sewing all my life, but never really taken any classes. And when it comes to quilting, there are definitely tips and tricks. And she's so generously offered to help me and walk me through some of that. So definitely watch her. She's so awesome, you guys. I love her. She's got such a wonderful heart. And the other one, of course, is Floss Boss and Cousins, Christy and Callie, Antique Needleworkers, Shelly, Handmade by Sarah W., Sarah's Stitchery, that's Sarah Reads. She used to be with Jen, and I can't remember what their old Flosstube was called, but she started her own. And on Instagram, she's got a different name. She's Stitchysarahreads on Instagram, but on Flosstube, she's Sarah's Stitchery. Sarah Stitchery? I'm not sure, guys. And then another one is a friend of mine. We've done a couple of little just like stitching retreats together, just getaways. And her name is Tami. She used to be Tami's Crafty Life, and she has started her own business where she does finishing. And I'm this close to hiring her to do some for me because I find finishing is not my favorite thing to do. I get a tremendous satisfaction when I do it myself, but I don't know if I love it. And so I'm sort of thinking about sending her a box of just stuff and having her just go to town on it. So anyway, check her out. Her new place is called Woodlands Stitching Studio, and her name is Tami. And then, of course, watching Tiger Lily Designs, Kari. Love her. She's so full of energy. She makes me tired when I watch her because I'm older, quite a bit older than her. And whew, yeah, but she's awesome, and she just starts all the things, and she's just got energy for everything. I'm amazed at what that girl can get done, and she's got great ideas. I really enjoy watching her. The other one is Sarah's Stitchy Spot. She's also so full of joy and kindness. It just emanates from her, and so I always really enjoy watching her. I did a lot of Flosstube watching over the last month. I watched Seazook Stitch by Carolyn, and I watched Samantha, the Huga Stitcher. Holly, Hobbies of Holly is a brand new Flosstuber, and I saw so many people recommending her, so I went and watched her first one. She is awesome, you guys. You should go check her out. She really is a natural, and she has some fun, amazing projects going. So yeah, go check her out. She's got a brand new Flosstube. Country Stitchers, Liz and Deb. Sweetwater Stitcher, Jessica, I've mentioned her already. Another one that I really enjoy, and I just watched a live of hers this morning, is Teresa Little Stitcher. She does a lot of full coverage pieces, and she actually showed one last time that influenced me to purchase a chatelaine. And here I thought that it was unique and nobody else had done it. And then I was watching Brenda the Handwork Maniac, and here she had it completed and it was on her winter wall. And I'm just like, oh, Brenda, you are amazing. She does everything, and she gets it all done so fast. And I enjoy watching her channel too. If I didn't mention her, I watched Brenda. And then Calculated Stitcher, Jen. And Wondering Stitcher, Liz. She has this wonderful Friday night chat thing that she started doing, where she's just chatting with a friend, and she does a live on it, which is really, really fun. I have yet to catch one. I keep catching the replay, but I haven't yet been on the live, I don't think. And then the last one is my new friends, Loose Thread Stitchers, Jeannie and Leanne. Really enjoy those. Leanne has turtles and she knows a lot about them, and so she always does a little turtle tidbit that she puts at the end of hers, which are very informative, and then you can always kind of see the turtles that are swimming in her big tank behind her. So that one's really super fun too. Okay. Last time I talked about my scroll frames, and you could see that I used quite a few of them, and I call them an arabesque. They're actually arabesca with an A on the end. And I went to the box that they came in after I had done my floss tube last time, and here it said on the front of it that the founder of the company had died fighting in Ukraine, and it just made me want to support them and encourage you guys all to check them out. Their frames are truly amazing. I think I've ordered 3 times now from them just to get the different sizes. I like having my stuff on a scroll frame versus a hoop because I don't like smashing my stitches. And so I want to have enough scroll frames to keep all of my whips on. It is not always fun to initially load things onto a scroll frame, so once I have them on there good, I like to keep them on there. So I really encourage you to go check them out. I found them on Amazon. I've seen other people, other floss tubers that use them, so definitely go check them out. And if we could give them a little extra support, that would be amazing. Okay, then I think that's it. I just wanted to do a blessing moment. So I started giving this a lot of thought because I felt like I was running out of ideas. And it's because I wanted to keep things free, and you can't always do things for free. And I think that's part of the mission sometimes, is when you do something for someone that might cost a little bit, and it's okay. And if you can't afford to do something, that's okay too. A smile goes a long way, a long, long way. Or a friendly greeting, or a quick note or a text to somebody if you're thinking of them that day, a prayer. Those things go a long, long, long way, you guys. And I can for sure attest to the fact that you feel those prayers. You really do. You feel those prayers when people are lifting you up. Sometimes you don't realize it until afterwards, and you're like, how did I get through that day? And then you realize, oh, I had X and X and X friends that were praying strongly for me during that time. And they carry you. They carry you right through it. So prayer goes a long way. So my thoughts this time were to bake some cookies or bars for the teachers in your local school. Even if you go buy them, that's okay too. But they're so underappreciated, and yet they play one of the most important roles in shaping, encouraging, and nurturing those who will be our future. And so I just thought that would be a wonderful gesture this time, would be just to bring them something. Doesn't have to be for all the teachers. It can be just the teachers that your kids are in, or the teachers that your grandkids are in, those classes. It could be for administrative. They probably don't get the recognition because they're just on the phone and they're doing all those things. So just a reminder to remember our teachers this time, and support them in any way that you can. So I wanted just to wish you guys a wonderful next few weeks. I hope that you have a lot of stitching time. I hope that you find joy in it, and I hope that you'll stitch yourself some happy. And I'll talk to you the next time. And let me know what you think about whether I should do this in a month or whether I should come back in 2 weeks. All right? Take care, everybody. Love you all. Bye-bye.